The region was particularly dependent on Russia and Ukraine to import its wheat and other commodities. And some of the countries in the region were already very fragile just before the beginning of the war. I'm thinking about Yemen, Syria, but also countries like Iraq and more recently, Lebanon. Yemen was importing more than 90% of its wheat from a combination of Russian and Ukrainian wheat, and so was Lebanon. They were both very fragile because of in some cases, very many years of civil war and all the disruptions that ensues, but also more recently because of the COVID and the disruptions for the local economies that went with it. So when the war started, these very fragile countries already struggling to ensure access to food for the populations, immediately saw an increase in the price of those very same items. Cooking oil, wheat, bread, and other food items jumped by 20 to 60% within just a couple of months after the beginning of the invasion in Ukraine. So the results were particularly felt by people who were already fragilized by a couple of years of extremely difficult economical situation.
And of course, what we're seeing is this food insecurity crisis having a major impact on people and politics in the region. And to just offer one example, the situation on the ground in Lebanon looking increasingly challenging here. The price of a loaf of bread has increased by 600% over the past year alone. How would you say food insecurity is exacerbating political instability in a country like Lebanon today?
So the situation of the government and of the population was already very tense prior to the crisis in Ukraine, where we had, at least since 2019, a very tense situation between people who were already very dissatisfied with the governance of their country, and now they are dealing with a government that is largely unable to take the measures that would be required to make things work again for them. So we are just facing the ultimate test for governments, and they are really not equipped to do that properly. The problem in a country like Lebanon is that they are largely reliant on imported goods to make their local production function, and these imports are made extremely difficult because of a functioning bank system and a complete lack of international currencies. So the immediate responsibility for the government for this is there.